Hi, I'm Peter Cowan, the Bee Whisperer. I'm here on my Winterport yard, Stream Road, and it's just the time of year when we're normally having quite a significant honey flow in this area. Everything is in bloom. Got white clover in bloom around the place. Red clover, of course, doesn't do much for honeybees. That's good for bumblebees. Got vetch and all sorts of wildflowers. Clover will probably make up the bulk of honey flow now. Problem is two things. Number one, most of my hives are still nucs. That tall one there is just empty equipment, it's just used equipment. But what I've done in order to make all my nucs for the year is to split everything down to nucs so I had bees to sell. And finally, I've now caught up with everything I needed to sell, and these nucs are going to become my production hives. And I don't have much time for production hive this year. It's now the 22nd, 23rd of June, and we've been having weather where it's raining for a week, nice weather for a couple of days, raining for another week, nice weather for 3 days, raining for a week. And we've just had 3 or 4 nice days. This is the last one. Getting kind of humid, so I'm pretty glad I've got a ventilated suit. And what's going to happen now? 1 or even 2 weeks of lousy weather coming up. So that's not the best scenario for honey production. It is a great scenario for swarms. And yes, colonies are thinking of swarming left, right, and center. But not a major problem for me overall, because I've got so few hives that are big enough to swarm. So what I'm going to do at the moment is set up my nucleus colonies to be honey production hives. And as I've done in a previous video or two now, basically I'm going to use 2 nucs, which are going to be put into those wooden boxes, queen excluder to keep the 2 groups of bees separate, and a communal honey super. That way these nucs are going straight into honey production while there's a chance. So we get gaps in the weather like this, the bees suddenly are filling things up with honey. So I'm going to give them drawn comb, because I've got it, and they'll be able to fill those drawn comb up with honey. And I might be able to get a honey flow. If the honey flow continues later this year, which with this weather, I certainly hope it does, would do a favor too for Mother Nature. Hopefully the honey flow will continue and we'll be able to get going. Now I'm just debating whether I should go closer or further away. I think if I stay here, I'll concentrate on this one, and you may not hear me that well, but we'll go. We're going to start like this. Bees aren't flying much yet. So the nucs are full of field bees, which will be kind of pissed off. So these 2 nucs are established to this location. Not all of them are big nucs, this one's a small one. Foundation. In fact, I'll swap a few frames out. And here's an example of how things are going wrong this season. Take these bees out in here. Here's a nuke that was going perfectly fine for a few days. And look, queen cells, supersedure queen cells. They've taken the opportunity to suddenly destroy their queen. This weather is really screwing up normal bee behavior, or what we would consider normal bee behavior. So, rather than this becoming a what I would like to do, this is going to be used to supplement the strength of the colony, because I'm not going to wait for these queens to be established. I'm just going to cull this one, and this will add to the strength of other nukes. So, just for now, that nuke's going to go upstairs. That nuke is going to go in the upstairs. Hopefully this one will be better. I've already got honey in here, so this is going to go upstairs. Nice frame of brood. Another nice frame of brood. And another. Now, I didn't wait to see the queen, I've just put the frame straight in, but I could tell by the fact that there was young brood in there and no queen cells, we had a queen in there. So we've got a queen in this one. Now this hive was more over here. I really want these nukes to level up nicely to each other. Not bad here. Now, I'm going to take this nuke. And in fact, I'm going to do something different. This nuke is facing this way. I'm going to take this hive, face this the opposite direction. Try and square it up a bit. Nice. Just to show you what I'm doing. Original nuke, that's where the original nuke was, pretty close. This nuke, because I'm going to use this one, whose entrance is over here, I faced it the opposite direction. This is fairly good strength nuke. So this is going to go in here, and this one, which is queenless, I'm going to cut the queen cells out, and that will go immediately into the honey super. So this colony will be good and strong right away, because in effect, we're going to have 3 lots of bees in there working together. With beekeeping, you can see I came to this video planning to do one thing and I'm already having to do another. You're always having to think on your feet. With beekeeping, it trains you that you have to expect the unexpected and be prepared to roll with it. Now this is all honey, so this is going to go upstairs as well. I could stay here, but I'm going to make it easier for the bees. I don't want them to have to keep on moving everything. I'll do the moving for them. After all, I owe them a few favors. Beautiful frame of new brood, young eggs and larvae, young larvae and eggs here. Nice frame of emerging brood. Frame of the brood is largely emerged. The queen is backfilling with new eggs. And another frame of brood. This is going to be good and strong. If we hadn't moved this now, it would have been swarming next week. So we didn't specifically see the queen go in, so I'm just going to make sure I tap the bees out of the box. I don't want her left behind here. Once in a while, queens end up in the original nuke box, which is a problem. Okay, now as I did before, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a gasket between these two just to make sure no one is bypassing the queen excluder. So let me go and get my duct tape. So if you're ever saying how many uses duct tape has, here's a new one for you. We're going to turn this into a bee gasket. Long enough. I'm going to fold it. I'm not really looking for the sticky part of it. Stuff to me. Okay, that's going to be in the way when we put a queen excluder on. So now we know there's no way that a queen is going to get from one hive to the other, because she can't get up through the queen excluder on either side, but if she can't go under the queen excluder because we put a gasket there in the way. As we have a little gap here, I'm just going to put a little wooden stick there. I prepared earlier. You can see it's been used before. It's got already propellized. Now we're going to put another super on top. to include the frames of honey that I've taken out of the lower nucs already. But I've got to put a few extras in there, so I'm going to take a few more frames out of here. Just make some room. Put this frame of resources of honey up here. Now just make sure there's no queen cells. Just resources. Those queen cells are getting destroyed. And you can combine colonies like this together, and they will get on together perfectly well. Especially if you're doing it during a honey flow. This is this foundation. And we just need a cover. Okay, so what we have nuc number 1 coming in and out here. Nuc number 2 just getting used to going into the new entrance, especially once I shake these bees out and move this box. So right now they think the box is still home. They're homing in on the white box, so move that away. Move this and move the smoker. Move a little bit of vegetation. Now what's going to happen, bees who are used to home being here just fly an extra few feet forward, and now they're moving in here. You see the bees fanning, saying home's actually here, guys. Now everything is separated by a queen excluder, and they have a communal honey super. And I would say in a week, if we had a week of good flying weather, that'll be darn full of honey, and I'd be needing to put another one on. We just have to see what the weather's going to do, see whether we will, how long that will actually take. In the meantime, between these 3 nucs, hopefully we'll get another pair going. So let's go. Do it more from a distance this time. You may not hear what I have to say, but we'll try. Hopefully it'll be these 2. Nice strong one. It helped if I smoked it first. half a frame of brood, half a frame of honey. Beautiful full frame of brood and emerging, and the queen is busy refilling those cells. Another full frame of brood. Frame of eggs and larvae, young larvae. A full frame of brood here. I mean a full frame, drawn comb rather. Put it right in the middle. Didn't see the queen, so I'm making sure there's nothing left on these sides. Sure, that's good. Now in this case, they'll both be coming out the same side. A little confusing because they're both yellow, but they've been next door to each other for a while, so they should be good. Nice frame of brood. Another nice frame full of young brood. Half a frame of brood, one frame one side, not much on this side. I think I'll move this upstairs. Plenty of brood here. Again, that's going in here. And give them another couple of frames of drawn comb here. Make our gasket. Now let's get the queen. Make sure all the beads are in first. upstairs. These will be straight up through that queen excluder to fill that up. And this foundation up here. We've mostly got drawn comb upstairs. But there's some foundation there, so we're going to push the frames a bit together. This has only got 9 frames in it, but because we're getting some comb drawn, we're pushing them together. Once that comb is drawn, I'll spread them out to 9, because when I have a honey super, I like to have 9 frames in to make the combs really fat. So that's good to go. Lovely. Okay. Let's do it all again. Now, this pallet's a bit tatty and it's tipping backwards. So in order to make things work better, we're going to put a wedge in the bottom and the back. There we go. Now it's facing level. Put these over here. Making sure that things are going to sit nicely together before we set it up. That's good. If I can prop this side up a bit more. That gets up a bit narrower. A wedge of wood. There we go. Nice. All set up. Time to stock it. Smoke. I always tell when you're not smoking, you should be. These aren't flying yet. I'm getting busy here. We give them a go and get them a super first. Nice load of young brood. Another great frame of brood. Another good frame of brood. And a frame of resources. Put upstairs. Now that one didn't have much in the way of honey in it, so I may put a frame of honey in here just to avoid the risk of starvation. I believe I've got a bit of honey in some of these supers. Yeah. Old frame of honey here. So instead of this frame of foundation, frame of honey, old honey is going to go there, just to make sure we've got plenty of resources. Okay, that's one. Queen could be here. Don't see it. Brood, food. Put this upstairs. Glass frame inside. It's been mostly drawn, so they'll draw that out really fast. That's queen. Again, this is young brood, so I'm going to put this upstairs. It's what I want for them to have, and I'm going to put them as close to each other as I can. I want the drawn comb downstairs. So the queen can keep busy laying eggs. Don't want them to have to spend any time building comb down here. You know the queen's already in it. Gasket. Okay. Super. And just need a stick. And so that's what I'm doing. Got room to do a couple more here, a couple more there, a couple more there. The others are singles. May just rehouse those into singles, but coming along. These 3 setups here will each work nicely together. Very little risk of one side or the other killing the other queen, at least not in my previous experience. But this sort of year, who knows with the weather we've had. But in previous years with good honey flows, I've had 150 pounds from each pair. But I'd be surprised if we get anything like that this year, unless we get a good fall honey flow. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to get on with it. Rather than thinking about the camera, I'm going to think about my work. I'll see you guys next time. I'm Peter Cowan, the Bee Whisperer. See you next time.